What up, YouTube? This is Dave Maddock. I got another video for you guys today, and I had done a review on the Combat Ready Pocket Axe. It was kind of like an overview, and I had a couple requests to actually test it out. And also had in that video, I also mentioned that there was a video that was put out by Bud K, how they compared it to their M48 Tactical Axe. Now, in their video, they were pretty much bashing it because it didn't perform like the Battle Axe. It was, in my opinion, an unreasonable comparison. And then from further comments on that video, they said, well, basically we were getting at that for the price that you pay for the Combat Ready Pocket Axe, the M48's the same price, so why not go for the M48? And that's all fine and good, and I could understand where they were coming from there, but they were comparing performance also. And when this Combat Ready Pocket Axe is just basically a pocket axe, so it's a very specified or designed specifically to be a small package to carry in your pocket, carry in your backpack or whatever, but it's supposed to take up the least amount of real estate and provide a chopping tool, where the M48 there's no way you could possibly carry it around compact or anything like that. So that's what the reasoning was behind this folding pocket axe. Does it have its limitations because of its size? Absolutely, absolutely. It's 8 inches long, and you're dealing with this long, giant M48 axe. Now the M48 axe is badass. I've done a test video on it, and it's pretty cool. I like it a lot. It's a pretty good design. There's a couple things I don't like about it, but for the most part, it's a really good low-budget axe. But as far as Bud K's comparison, I thought that was pretty crappy. If Bud K wanted to compare axes to something else to kind of prove their point, they could have easily gone over to the Schrade, which SCAXE3 model here, which is priced in the same ballpark. Now, keep in mind the M48 is $39 on Bud K, and you do have to pay shipping, so it ends up being about $6 more, $7 more, which brings you to around, let's just say, $45. The Schrade axe is actually $48.99. In most places you can get it for free shipping. I've actually seen this axe sold for as low as I believe $42, maybe $39, the same price, with $5 shipping. So you'll pay a little bit more for this, but you get more because it's a full tan construction. And for me, it's totally, if you look at the chop video that I did, or where comparison, it does outperform the M48. But maybe I'm going to do another, just a complete chop video just with the Schrade to see its full capabilities on that. They do compare, they do come pretty close to each other, but the Schrade, in my opinion, was a better option. But you can look at my video that I have on that and make your own decision. But today we're talking about the Combat Ready Tactical Axe, so we're going to go ahead and do, or the folding pocket axe, and do some testing on that. Sorry about the shaky camera. I have it in my hands right now because I'm going to put it on a tripod and continue on with testing there. Another thing also is I got the Bud K catalog right here, and just keep in mind that Bud K does offer a bunch of really cool stuff, but it's kind of a budget mind. It's kind of like a Kmart for, like, I mean, if you want to go and spend some money, you got a good amount of money to spend on something cool, then you usually would go to Blade HQ, your Blade Ops, Blade Play, Knife Center, wherever. If you're on a budget and you just want something cool and the money's burning a hole in your pocket, then you go to Bud K. They do have some stuff that's really good quality, but some of the stuff's kind of gimmicky and fantasy and stuff like that. Not, some people like that stuff. I mean, I read through this magazine all the time, and I find cool stuff in there all the time. So, I mean, nothing against Bud K. I just wanted to go ahead and put this video on the axe here, on little pocket axe, so I can go ahead and show you guys the full capability of it. So let's go ahead and do that now. Oh, real quick, I'll just give you a quick look. I'm testing this inside my shop today because it's like 30-something degrees outside, and I'm not about to freeze my ass off. So what I did is, this branch right here actually fell down from the tree outside that last year dropped a branch on my car and cost about $4,000 worth of damage. So this is another Widowmaker that fell down, and this is pretty much typical if you're going to be doing any you know, wood. If you're building a fire, you're going to be gathering up wood. This is typical of what you may find out there. This has been down on the ground for about, I'd say, 3 weeks now. Not exactly 100% dry. You can still see how it's wet there. That's from the ice that was on it there. I chopped a chunk of this off and brought it inside, and like I said, I'm going to do the testing. I got another piece back there with some branches and stuff so we can play with that. I also have a 2x4 as a base. That way we can kind of figure out, you know, everybody's got a 2x4 around. You can kind of gauge the capabilities of it by that too. So I've modified the shop a little bit. I've redone this corner. This is where I finalize, you know, when I do my custom you know, scales and stuff. I just shoot over here. I wanted to gain access back to my punching bag, so I kind of took the old school table that I had their way and made room. So anyway, bear with me. I know we're 6 minutes in. I'm going to get into this right now. Let me go ahead and set you on the pedestal or on the tripod, and we will keep going with this here. Alright, let me see the view there. I think we got it right. That should be good. Maybe we'll angle it up just a hair. And there we go. There we go. There. Let's take a look at there. That's the folding axe right there. It is a chisel grind. That, or if you remember from the last video, I did tell you it was a Warren Thomas design. So that's pretty cool. One of the things that I wished it was a had to grind on both sides, or at least a partial grind on this side, probably to help it out. But the good thing is the chisel grind's on the right side, which means if you're right-handed, it works. It'll work good for you. If you're left-handed, not so much. So anyway, another thing also too is in the closed position here, you've got the little bite gear deals right there, which can also serve as a self-defense feature on this. It also serves as a wave function. So as it's in your pocket, as it pulls out of your pocket, these bike teeth, or look like bike gears to me, hook onto your pocket and cause the blade to open up. Let me see if I can show you. Hopefully this comes up. So I'm right here, right? I don't know if you can see that. And then I pull it out, and there you go. So I'm going to get into this. Alright, I'm going to go ahead. I have not cut anything with this yet. It's just, I did the review on it. I kind of smoothed up the action, but I have not cut anything yet with this. And I think what I'm going to do first, I'm going to go ahead and set this to the side, and we'll do a couple chops in the 2x4. I believe traditionally I do like 9 or 10 chops in this, so we'll see what's going on. We'll do 10, and we'll see what happens. I'm going to do one chop up here at the very edge, and then we'll look at that, see if I can get, this is kind of small, a little awkward to work with, you know, really dialing in where I'm going to chop, so we'll see what happens. So I got a grip, probably 3 fingers, and my pinky's on this little swedge tail. Alright. As you can see there, that wasn't like the strongest swing ever. It was just... And, I don't know if you can see that. Yeah, there you go. You can kind of put it with the... No, I guess this background would work better. Oh, focus. Come on. You can do it. So there you go. It's about a 1/4 inch cut with one little single swipe at the very top. Took the majority of the brunt of the whack there. I don't know if you can see that. There you go. Perfect. So that was, if you saw, it wasn't a very strong, forceful whack, but you know, it did get in there quite a bit. So let's go ahead and continue on with a couple more. I'm gonna go ahead and flip this around this way so we're not even dealing with the same side. We're going to do 10 whacks, and I'm going to do a different cutting. Instead of like usually when you would chop, you go left and right, because this is got the grind, it's a chisel grind on one side, the right side's going to have more, so I'm going to go diagonally like this and then straight up and down, and that would be the most effective way to use this, I'd imagine. So we'll see. I think that was 10. Well, I'll let you look at it. Alright. Let's take a look. Now, See if we can get it to focus. I don't know if I can. It's kind of hard. I'm leaning diagonally behind the... Okay, there we go. The indentations, it's made it about 1/4 of an inch through. The tip of that, the axe right there, it's pretty much where I was hitting it at, is about 1 inch and 1/4, 1.5 inches or something like that. So it dug in pretty deep. Not too bad for its size. As far as the way it feels in my hands, I'm not feeling anything too hard yet, but I just started cutting. So I'm going to go back through and see. I'm going to lean it over and try something different real quick. I'm going to go ahead and go right next to it, and I'm going to dig in with the hole. I believe that was 10 chops. Okay. After 10 chops, it's taken a considerable chunk out of this 2x4. How long would it take me to get through this 2x4 completely? With that tool, I would say about maybe 5 minutes, maybe a little less on there. As I get deeper, I'd imagine it would be a little harder, but you can see how this side, the cut right here is nice and straight, because that's the side that doesn't have the grind on it, and I was just coming in at an angle, and it was chewing it up quite a bit. So pretty impressed so far for its size and what it's doing. It's pretty cool. I mean, you know, keep in mind 8-inch handle, and it dug into this 2x4 quite a bit. So I'm going to go ahead and put this aside now, because I think that pretty much gives you a basic idea of you know, what it can do with a basic 2x4 that you guys could have at home, and you can gauge that. So let's set this off to the side. Now we're going to go ahead and get into this branch here. So I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to do about 10 whacks in it. This thing is freaking nasty. It's got moss and crap all over it. We'll see what's up. Alright. Okay. This is going to be a pain in the butt to bring over here, but alright. That's 10 whacks into this branch. Let me see. You can see, like I said, it's pretty much, it didn't dig in as deep as it did with a 2x4. This branch is definitely more dense than that 2x4, but it did get in there. And I think that with this pocket axe, you could get through a branch this thick. Your hand will be hurting. I'm feeling a little bit of, my hands are burning up a little bit, basically on the underside of my middle finger. Nothing inside, like on the inside of my thumb or anything yet. But I think by the time you made it through there, your hands would be pretty sore. So for a small branch, I wouldn't imagine it would be too much of a chore to get through. But that's 10 whacks there on that. I don't know. Let me just, I'm going to go ahead and chop some more on this, and I'm not going to really, that was 10 chops. I'm just going to go ahead and go for a minute and see how deep I could actually get. We'll choose. Alright, let's see. We'll go here. Alright. Okay. Alright. I wasn't counting how many whacks or anything, but you guys can kind of tell how long I was nailing that for. So like I said, you know, I'm about 1/3 of the way through, maybe 1/4. A third would be a little generous, I'd say. But like I said, you can get through it. Now, on the back side of this, I just noticed that there's a freaking branch there, so I don't know, maybe the wood's a little more dense where that branch comes out. But it would, I mean, if you needed to, yeah, you could. It's not the ideal tool to do it, but it's a pocket axe. It's meant to do little stuff. So I'm pretty impressed with its capabilities now with that. I mean, I'll do something real quick too. Here, you got the M48 here, United Cutlery. Let me see. Let's okay, there we go. That might be slightly easier. Okay. That right there is 10 whacks with the United Cutlery there. I was actually hitting it harder than I was with that combat ready pocket axe, basically because I have all that extra handle and all that extra weight, and that's what it looks like after 10 whacks. Remember, this is 10 whacks right here. This mark right here is 10 whacks with the pocket axe. So 8-inch handle, that's what you get with 10 whacks on that. You got to think the handle on the M21, I'll measure that in a second to let you know, but that's what you got with 10 whacks over there. So if you want to go ahead and compare those two together, which I think is kind of ridiculous, because they're just basically, they were designed for two different, you know, same chopping, but in, you know, one's supposed to be compact and not meant for super heavy duty or your primary use of chopping, and then one that's actually meant for chopping and actually tactical applications, you know, maybe, you know, whatever. I'd imagine, when I think tactical and black, I imagine guys coming in breaching doors with stuff, and I don't think that the M48 is really designed for that. I think it's just a gimmick, calling it a tactical axe. But anyway, back to the subject, 10 whacks with the M48. So that's that right there. Let's go ahead and do a couple other things. I'm going to go ahead and, I'm making a mess out of my shop, by the way, but I promised you guys I'd do this video, and I really, now that I have some downtime today, I can do that. I'm going to clean some brush off, or clean the branches off of this. Like, let's say I'm going to make some small kindling to initially start a fire. So basically, we'd go ahead and strip this stuff off. Yeah, that's reasonable. Let's see. Like I said, well, okay, so now we strip the branch, little pieces. Actually, okay. I'm just getting through it. Okay. Well, I think you guys get the point there with that. All right. What I'm noticing with this now is that basically when you go to cut with this, as you can see, it did handle that and was cutting the small branches away. And you know, would I be able to do better with maybe a large folder? No, not better. As good, maybe, depending on what I had. But you kind of have to really, get into the bite this corner to get it to go in. If you go through the chest, I mean, there's just only 1 inch of cutting surface there, so you're kind of limited with the chisel grind also. So you'd have to get in there. So basically, when you come in to cut, let's just say you're going to want to come in at this angle here to cut. If you come in here, you'll be there for a while. If you come in here and utilize that corner and then come in, then it'll start to work for you. Depending on if you have something solid to put on the ground to go ahead and cut it, then it will work. So anyway, let me see here. Am I impressed with the way this is working here? Yeah, I am. For what it is, if you had to do small stuff, if you had to, it wouldn't be your ideal tool. It would, if it's something small, like let's say you're away, you're at a campsite, and let's say your axe is back at the campsite. You just so happen to have your bag with you, and you're going somewhere, and you wanted to, let's say, take a branch and sharpen a point to kind of poke at something or to pry something or do something like that. Then yeah, this is not a bad. This is awesome. Better than you know, having to sit there and whack at a branch with your folder. You'd get the job a little bit done a little bit quicker with this. It's kind of, it all depends on what type of folder and how big it is, if it'll compare. So I mean, it's really good. It's a pretty cool tool for what it is designed for. But for a primary chopping tool, I would go ahead and get something other, maybe like, you know, a BK7, a larger fixed blade or something like that. You know, around the 40 or the what is it, $39.99 range or whatever. If you can find a nice fixed blade, then that may be a better option than this. But as far as being able to carry it in like your back pocket, something small, concealable, something you don't want to take up too much real estate that a large machete chopper or a large fixed blade would take, then yeah, maybe this will be a good option for you. It's like this kind of fills one of the funky in-betweens. If you have a, you know, this is basically if you have a, you're dealing with space in your pack and you don't have, you want to kind of travel light. You don't want to have the big giant fixed blade strapped to your side. You don't want to have yourself, you know, a big axe or whatever, and you're like on a hike. Then yeah, this would be the ideal thing. But it's kind of it's, I guess, designed for just very specific situations. So as far as this flying off the racks, I don't think it's going to, because I think it's a very specified tool that you'll carry. So that's my 2 cents about this right here. I'm glad I got it. I think it's pretty cool. Will I be carrying it like an EDC or something like that? No, I wouldn't. If I'm going on a hiking, like let's say if I'm going on a hiking trail, and it's a very popular hiking trail with a lot of kids and folks that are on there, and I want to have a cutting tool that may not look as threatening as maybe having a large fixed blade, or even a pocket clip for a large folder. You can, like I said, you can fold this up, put it in your back pocket. It looks like a comb, and no one would be the wiser. So that would be a really good circumstance to carry this as opposed to a large fixed blade or a large folding knife going on a heavily like family populated hiking trail or whatnot. But pretty cool. The finish is held up pretty good on that. As far as edge retention on there, the edge on this was kind of because the chisel grind is kind of limited. I mean, let me just do, I guess I could do a cut test, but it's not going to really, if you've ever done a cut test on a chisel grind, no matter how razor sharp it is, it still leaves a lot to be desired. But I can do that. We'll see what's going on. So, yeah, see, it's not gonna, if I were to, I mean, this chopping, or the initial way the edge came from the factory was sharp, but not hair-popping sharp, not anywhere close to as sharp as, like, let's say what you would get a Spyderco at. So the edge on this definitely needs to be touched up. So that's another thing to keep in mind when you got this. When you get it, you're going to probably need to refine the edge a little bit. And cool, the good thing is it's a chisel grind, so even a novice can go ahead and refine the edge and make it really, really, really super, super sharp. So that's one of the. So I'd say as far as the downfalls of this is it has very limited applications. and that the factory edge could have been a lot sharper. The action on this, or the way it deploys, can be a whole lot smoother out the box. It's very rigid and very stiff, and takes a while to break in. Although I did modify this myself and kind of polished up the blade and relaxed the detent hole, and it works fine for me. But just keep in mind, you will have to break it in a little bit, or go like I did and relax the detent ball, or the hole for the detent. If you look at my original overview of this, I explain how I did that, and you know, toughen or go ahead and refine the edge. But it's pretty cool. Like I said, it's a very specialized tool or application. So for the money they ask, there's a bunch of other stuff you can get out there. If you have needs, like I mentioned just a minute ago, then this is perfect for you. So all in all, it's a pretty cool design. Warren Thomas design blade, compact chopper. I mean, it's cool. I'm glad I own it. I can't lie to you guys, it's pretty cool. But anyway, that's my little chop test type of deal for that. I wish I could have done it outside, but it's way too cold to do that. So thank you for tuning in. I know it's a long video, 26 minutes, but yeah, just post any comments below. I appreciate you tuning in. Peace.